Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nuraishah, Maisarah Binti Idris, matric number 2014942. So today I would like to share what I've done from this assignment. So let's get continued.
Creating an e-books and objective test is not an easy task. Throughout this assignment, we learn the process of making an e-book, which involves exploring and practicing our skills such as creativity and collaborative and cooperative work, and also collecting students' answers were crucial parts of this assignment. And we recognize that it is important on mastering the course material or the course content to create an effective questions and also plausible answer. However, we faced many challenges during the process. We realized that some of the questions did not align with the desired difficulty level and the learning outcomes. In order to create the e-book, we began by selecting an appropriate Wikipedia, which is Islamic Dietary Law, and dividing its content into 4 subtopics. 3 learning outcomes are established from this. And then we're creating the mapping to aligning each subtopic with their own learning outcomes. And the distribution of questions is determined in the table of specification, which is TOS, and then we create 5 TOS question and 5 HOTS question with plausible answer. After generating the questions, we carefully analyze the answer to identify the difficulty level and the discrimination index. And during analysis, we may identify that some of the questions need to be revised because there is weakness in it. Creating high-quality test question is essential for teachers to assess students effectively and meet the desired standards. And well-crafted questions can stimulate higher order thinking skills in students. And from this assignment, I've gained valuable insight and knowledge in designing an objective test, which will benefit my future test-making endeavors. As our future generation thinking evolve, the questions should also be adapted, and we must continuously develop new style of questions such as interpretive questions to enhance and advance our educational system in Malaysia. That's all from me. Move to the next group members.
Assalamualaikum, I'm Aisya 2014972. By doing this assignment, I learned many things as it is my preparation towards my future career. In terms of creating question, I have learned about creating a learning outcome, mapping of CLO, TOS, or we say table of specification. After that, doing 5 lots question and 5 HOTS question. To analyze the questions graded good or not, we need to calculate and identify difficulty and discrimination index based on the answer and of our respondent or student. As I realized, making question is the important part of this assignment. It is necessary for me to be more careful and in detail because we need to use the words based on the level of question. As C3 question, only certain verbs can use for C3 question. For example, apply. I'm using situational question as I put a situation and student needs to answer what the hukum or solution for the situation given. This type of questions considered as apply. Students need to apply what they have learned in various situations. Belum taxonomy, theory really helped me in creating verbs in my question. In my experience making HOTS question with my colleague, it was quite challenging for us as it is not a straightforward question. We need to blend it to make the question harder and complicated to answer. But in the same time, it can improve students' ability to investigate, interpret, and also justify the solution. Other than that, through the assignment, it taught me to be hardworking person. Indeed, as in the class session, we only learn the theory about making question. If we only learn but not produce it through practically, we still couldn't do it well because we don't have much experience in that particular field. Last but not least, this assignment and experience of making question is really helpful to me, which I could prepare myself much better for my future career. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, we have done group assignment which is creating an ebook. I gain lots of knowledge and experience when doing this assignment. First, I learned that it is very important to search contents that are suitable for our targeted students according to their level. If not, they will find out that learning is hard and they cannot adapt the content properly as it has not reached their level yet. Then, from this assignment, I realized the importance of learning outcomes and the need to use proper verbs and organize it based on level from Bloom taxonomy. This is because to help students learn effectively and also to give directions for the teachers in teaching the students. In addition, I also have experience with how to create questions for students. For my part, I am more to create higher order thinking skills question in this assignment. And for me, it's a very valuable experience because I can experience it by myself and it is not easy to create a question. We must consider many things such as pros and cons when doing one question and we must be extra careful. Furthermore, for the parts of doing analysis items and reports, I learned that we need to analyze the students' answers one by one and need fully focus to prevent mistakes. It is important as it can help me to know how to analyze whether my self-made questions are appropriate for students in the future. All of the experience and knowledge I gained from doing this assignment is very helpful, and I am sure that it can help me to produce students that can think critically and not only depend on memorization and guessing every time answering the questions. This is because guessing and memorization only will not help the students to understand properly what they have learned, and also it will not align with national education philosophy that wants to produce a knowledgeable and competent individual. Besides, this assignment also gives a big picture from me on what I have to do before, current, and after teaching. There are lots of things that we need to do and consider, not just teaching and giving questions without doing proper research or preparation. And in my opinion, this assignment is a need and necessary for every future teacher in order to prepare them with enough knowledge and experience for teaching students in the future.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nuraishah binti Ramli. So for this reflection video, I would like to touch about several things, which is the first one is what I have learned about this subject. So basically for this subject, I like a few things, which is the first one, I like how my lecturer explained to us on how to formulate appropriate question and meet the standard of examination. And also my lecturer give us the appropriate and inappropriate question that should be and shouldn't be included in the test. And I also understand that the factors of the question selection, because it will affect the quality of question itself, and also it will affect the level of competence for the student. While doing this mini test, I took part in making the question for number 1 and number 2. So after I calculate the difficulty index for question number 1, it showed a low level, which is easy for student to answer. The result is that I got only 2 students out of 24 answer it incorrectly. So through this question, I found that it has a low discrimination. And from this experience, I also learned about new things on this difficulty index and discrimination index. As I know that the item that have a low discrimination, they have 2 effect or 2 situation. Either if it is so hard that everyone's answer it incorrectly or guesses, or maybe it could be the question is so easy that almost everyone get right. The new tips that I got from this experience, since question can result in misleading wording and misinterpretation, so I should give my friends answer it the question before I give to my student, because it can avoid the any mistake. Then last but not least, I learned a lot of things from the subject, and from after now I know how what I should do before, during, and after I'm making the test or the assessment. And I hope it will help improve my quality of the question, especially in assessing my students. Yeah, that's all from me. Thank you.